Hey, Dad, can I ask you a question?
Go to it.
Tune into my friend's podcast, Things You Should Ask Your Dad, with Adam and Max. You're going to love it.
Start spreading the news. Bum, ba-da-da. There's a new mayor in New York. Bum,
Yeah.
ba-da-da.
Well, how do you feel about that?
What's his name?
Madami? Madami?
Dad. Nah,
I
it's
don't know.
it's
Madami?
Mondami.
Madami. Yeah. It's
So
not my
so
mayor,
they're
so I don't give a shit who he is.
they're calling him there. He's calling himself a democratic socialist.
Right.
So looks like we have a democratic socialist as a
Okay.
mayor.
All right. Yeah. So,
I mean, the only thing that stands out to me about this guy
yeah.
is he didn't know who the fuck Billy Joel was.
That's your only concern with him? Well, if that's your only concern with him, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
No,
No, he seems
I
great,
guess I guess he's just not in a New York state of mind. What can I tell you? Which is really unfortunate, being that he now, gonna be running
but
the biggest city in New York State.
but I like the guy, and I know plenty of people like the guy,
He's
and
very charismatic. Yeah.
he's very personable. You know, his social
Yeah.
media numbers are off the charts.
Yeah.
He
All
put
that
out
the
a
social
video.
media. So if you're good at social media, you should run the presidency or the mayor of New York,
I mean,
right?
whoever is on his social team is doing a really good job. He put out a video, has 12 million views, where it's just the subway, right? And then it's
Yeah.
like, the next stop is City Hall. And then it's like, Mayor Mondami. It's like, that's smart. It's fun.
So everybody hates him because he wants to have what, free bus rides and free subway rides and certain,
Well,
I don't know, bodegas to be free and all that stuff. You're not going to get any of that.
right. I think he wants something else I read was
And he
that he
wants
wants
to
to
tax the billionaires and stuff. I get that, but yeah, and
something
maybe you
else.
can. Yeah, go ahead.
Something else I read was that he nah, because that was the second fucking time he
Yeah.
did that.
Okay.
Not cool.
Yeah.
So
Twice in one sentence. Go ahead.
the something else I read was that he wants to um get rid of like rent stabilization.
Uh-huh.
So like people who have been, in let's just say like they've had their rent stabilized for like 30 years and they've been paying like $1,000. He's like, nah, gotta get rid of that. Which I don't know.
But
That
but
won't affect people like me because nothing in New York is that I come
but
across these
but
days is
he
rent
but
stabilized.
wouldn't rent stabilization help people who don't make as much money? Why would you
Right.
get rid of that?
Right. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know. The question is like,
What are they
I don't
feeling
know.
about? You want rent stabilization because people like you have a hard time affording a $5,000 a month rent.
Right. So
You
it's
know,
like at that rate, there's just a lot. There's a lot on the table. But like to be honest with you, it, like I'm learning. I'm learning how this sort of goes, and how this goes is these people who politic for themselves. They
yeah.
just make a lot of promises, and
Mhm.
it's almost like a game to see how many can they keep or how many can they fulfill. And
Yeah,
that's
they
kind of
all
how the
do that.
game works.
They all do
Right.
that.
It's kind of how the
So
game works.
so I don't have much to say about him, but it's funny because I think to myself, like, wow, 24 years later, and we now have a Muslim running New York City. I was like, wow, we changed. Okay.
Hey,
And on the same day that Dick Cheney died. And then the other side of it is he must be doing something right if Donald Trump doesn't like him. So kudos
sure,
to your new mayor.
to Mondami. And you know what?
Yeah.
Big shout out to all my Muslim friends out there. I know they're very happy about this, and um, the Muslim community is
Yeah.
a just an unbelievably amazing
Yeah,
group of people.
of course they
And
are.
so
I know quite a few. They're awesome.
if they
Yeah.
think he's the
But
guy, he's probably the guy.
yeah,
Like
I think they're awesome. I lumped them all together in what I just stated. I know that, but I don't
like
lump
like
them
my
all
boy
together.
Zaid, shout out Zaid. he is buzzing over this.
Is
Like,
he really? He
oh my
doesn't
God,
even live in New York. What's
right.
that all about?
No, because he was like, we were talking about it a little bit, and this is great for New York, you know. Hope he's right.
Why is it great for New York?
I should ask him tomorrow. But
No,
anyways,
you should inquire. I would inquire.
I'm gonna inquire and I'll report back to you. Okay, can I just say
Yeah,
you look fried?
I am fried. I took a gummy at like
No, but you like
I didn't go on a very long motorcycle ride today. I went for like 20 minutes and then I just got into bed and took an edible and just yeah.
did you
That was
like
hours
comb your
ago.
hair before this or like
No, you know what I was doing? I really no, I didn't comb my hair before this because nobody watches us. I
that's not true.
you
People
know, we get a
listen,
few people listen, right? Nobody watches.
but you can
Come on,
watch on
people watch.
Spotify and they're listening
You
on
can watch.
Spotify.
You can,
So
yeah.
you know
But
what? For our recurring audience that we
yes.
get each week, and
Mhm.
we do have a recurring, I mean, we get
I know
about
we do.
25 to 35 recurring
Oh, I
people.
would say thousands.
Yeah, well, I'm just
And the
saying.
millions.
Just saying.
I know. So anyway, yeah. So what I did is I didn't really go to sleep. I watched some TV and then I put on like on Apple, iTunes. Is it called iTunes? Apple Music. I put on like Thunder and Lightning and I just listened to
iTunes
my
has been
Apple
fucking dead
headphones.
for ages.
I know, I know. And that's why I corrected myself. So yeah, I just put my headphones on. I just listen to like thunder and lightning because we don't get much thunder and lightning out here, and it's so soothing. But it's weird because with those Apple headphones, I sometimes like sometimes in these rain things is like dripping water, and all of a sudden I like look off. I'm like, is my roof leaking?
Do you
Granted,
actually th
granted I'm high,
No,
so
but it creates a pretty good
it
illusion, I'd
does.
imagine.
It does. Oh my God, it's
So, Dad,
wonderful.
I was thinking sort of all week about a question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What would you say? And I want you to think about this for a second, and you might not have the answer till the end of the episode. But what would you say is like if someone asked, I'm asking you, if someone was like, hey, what would you say is like the song track, not soundtrack, but song track to your life up until this point? What would you tell them?
Up until this point, ooh, you know, I'm, I mean, I have a lot of great songs but in my head right now, but I would say, like, honestly, like Pink Floyd's Time.
Mm,
I've been thinking about that song, since I wasn't listening to it when it came out in 72, I think. Like, the lyrics to that song is like, it's so like what Roger Waters is trying to say about time and how it just ticks away the
mm.
moment you wake up, like, and it's amazing because you fritter and waste the hours away, and like if you really dive into that song, it's almost you're depressed, that like wow, this is what happens, and he's singing about it. He probably feels it a little bit, and look who he is, yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
that's a song of my life.
yeah.
So I remember it like listening to it in college, and I was like, wow, time. Like, because if you think about time, time really like fucks with you. Like, Cheney died yesterday, Dick Cheney. And it's like, I'm going to go into politics a little bit here, but during the Iraqi war and after 9/11, he was like, America number one, America number one. Kind of sounds familiar, right? And he and George Bush did whatever they could to really protect this country. And some of the things were definitely done illegally and questioned, but it was for the safety of this country and obviously on other aspects to make money, right? Because wars make money. And yeah, I was thinking like he died at 84 and Bush was president 25 years ago.
Mm.
So, go back and he's 59 years old. I'm 56 years old. And it's like, it can be done. It's going to be done like that, whether I live to 84 or not.
But on the
Isn't that
other
crazy
hand,
about time?
like the song says, you are young and life is long. You got plenty of time still, you
Yeah.
know?
No, you're right. You're right.
You
But
do.
the time goes away. I mean, staying home to watch the rain,
Well, yeah,
you
also
know,
just it just flies by.
because
Like it
yeah, it
flies
just
by.
flies. It's why I talk to my mother about this all the time, and she's 83 years old. It's really amazing
I mean,
how she's like how it goes by,
it's
and it gets
already almost
faster and
Thanksgiving.
faster and faster. It's faster and faster and faster. And I don't, I kind of see it. I don't feel it that much, but it's just yeah. I remember, and I've discussed this before. I remember like when I was 50 years old, I'm like, what do I have? Another good, if I stay healthy, I have another good 30 years left. That's 80. Okay, well, I was saying that in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. Well, look where I am now. I'm 56 years old. So now you're looking at 24 more years. It
Yeah,
goes by like that.
it's already
And
almost
that's,
Thanksgiving,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Literally end of
Thanksgiving,
the month.
Christmas. Yeah,
Christmas
absolutely.
was just here last year. Like it
You'll
was
be
just
24 years old before you know
yeah, but
it. Pretty
soundtrack
well.
the song track to my life because you asked
Short life.
was
Your short life. Yeah,
was is Patience by
yeah,
Tame Impala.
yeah.
That song is just like, you know, well, first of all, it's just really complex, really layered, a lot of just layered tracks and instruments. But then when you get into the lyrics of the song, it's like, so it's similar to Time. Like he just sings about how he's just growing up in stages of life and that you know, you you grow in phases and your life is one big phase filled with many different phases.
One
Um,
big book, lots of chapters.
yeah. And
Yeah.
he and it's cool too because like when he made that song, he was in the middle of one phase of his life. This is pre-fatherhood. Now he's a father and like his entire his music's completely changed. Ryan and I just saw him on Friday at the Barclays
How was
Center.
it? How was that?
It was just like, first of all, okay, so he opened with a song off his album Lonerism, which is the same album that is home to Elephant, which I know you
Mhm.
love, which he also performed. But the he opened the show with a song called Apocalypse Dreams. The lyrics to that song are just beautiful. The whole song is beautiful. It's a rock song, but it's just like it works. And there's a part of the song early in the song where he completely just shifts like it almost feels like a completely different song. It's very Floyd-esque. Like he just
Mhm.
shifts the flow of the song and the
Right.
sound completely. And he goes into singing how like he starts singing everything is changing and then he's like and there's nothing I can do. And I just start hysterically crying. Like Ryan
Oh,
looked at me like, "Is you
that's
okay?" And
sweet.
I'm like, I just like could not keep the tears back, and
It's
because
nice.
it just really, I mean, the moment like being there with
Hmm.
my sister, like we're so old now, like in
You're
comparison to the
so old.
well, no,
Yeah.
no, in
Mhm.
comparison to the last time we saw him. So I'm like,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking about, and then I'm also
Mhm.
thinking about like where I was in my life the last time I saw him.
This episode is sponsored by Helen Cycles, taking good care of people and their bikes since 1936. Serving Southern California with locations in Santa Monica and Manhattan Beach, with brands like Trek, Santa Cruz, Pinarello, and Colnago. We'll see you on the bike.
Which was
I'm
when?
also
What year?
2021.
2021. Okay.
Right? So like I'm not even like in Boston yet. Like I've lived my whole life in Boston already before I had
Right.
even seen him again. And it's like
Right.
I've found the love of my life. Like
Right.
I didn't even know who she was the last time I saw him. So it was just like I was like, "Whoa, he's really starting this off like really heavy
Right.
for me." And trying not to get emotional about it now because I'm thinking about it, it's like and I was high. But
You know what though? Like we talked a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago at this point about movies and songs that make you feel.
yeah.
The song makes you feel. That's nice. It's great.
Boy, did it make me feel. And then the rest of the show was beautiful. Like the rest of the show, it was just cruising through. And then he performs and I'm gonna sound like a broken record to you because I've already told you. He performs a song that he has not performed live in 8 years off his first
Yes.
album. This song is almost 20 years old.
And for the people listening, what's the name of the song, Max?
Sundown Syndrome.
Sundown Syndrome by Tame Impala. Everyone should listen to this. It's really good. Like you'll get into it in the first two notes. Like you're
Yeah,
like, wow, I'm just blown away. Yeah. Awesome. It's very Beatles. Your mother thought it was maybe the Beatles.
yeah,
Like if the Beatles were still like if the Beatles were young but making music in 2025,
totally,
that would be their that is how they would listen
totally.
would hear.
Yeah,
Listen.
that's how they would sound. Yeah.
It sounds.
Um,
Hi.
and I'm
Sounds.
so
Duh.
glad you like it because we're at the show, you know, they start going into it, and he was doing what the Dead do at this show, which he has never done at any of his other shows I've seen him at, where he starts just playing a few notes
You're watching John.
and then just goes into it. So
Yeah.
like starts playing a few notes, and like that song, the way that one starts is like dun 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 dun, and I'm like, I literally look at Ryan. I go, "Is he about to fucking do Sundown Syndrome?" And everyone around us, like,
Yeah.
no one knew the song. Like, you were just looking. I was looking at other people, and they're just like, because they're newer fans. But I was like, "Oh my God!" I texted a buddy of mine who's a huge Tame Impala fan. I go, "Holy fuck!" He just performed Sundown Syndrome, and his response was, "That's a lie."
You know,
Like,
do you remember during the pandemic, I was always listening to that Roger Waters album, like
oh my God,
nonstop. It was just every night I come home from work exhausted and just like, put that on for an hour and then I would cook dinner. And there were a couple of songs in there that they're not Pink Floyd songs, they're Roger Waters songs. So when I went to go see Roger Waters at the Staples Center a couple of years ago, when he popped out two of those songs, I was the only one in the audience freaking out because I had heard it 500 times in 2020,
totally.
but so I know what you're saying. Sometimes you're like, you just see, oh, where there's the diehard, there's
Right.
the lunatic.
You feel like it was for you. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm telling you,
Right.
and then right after, which by the way, his first two LPs are very Beatles feeling. I'll
Mhm.
send you the other song he did. So he does Sundown Syndrome. I'm like, oh my God. Then he immediately goes into a song off his second LP called Alter Ego, which is like that whole album has to be Beatles inspired. It has to be. Like the whole album sounds
Probably
like a
is.
Beatles album. And
Probably is.
Alter Ego starts playing, and like Ryan knows that album pretty well too. And like we're just like jumping up and down like little kids, and like it was great. It was so fun.
That's nice. That's
And
nice.
I want to see him again. Like I'm
Of course you
addicted
do.
to his
Of course
sound.
you do.
I
Dude,
am.
you'll see him. Listen, that's not abnormal. Back in the day, if the police came around, then we'd all go see the police. Back in the day, if Adam Ant came around, well, I would go see Adam Ant. But like that's the Who. Those were my bands growing up. Of course, you see them. They're not like it's not like we're Dead and Company where you need to go see that band 5 times in one year. You know what I'm saying? Because every show is different. It's not like, but when they come out with a new album, of course you go check it out or
Yeah.
tour or whatever it is. Of course.
I'd like to see him again though on this tour. I looked at his LA dates. He's gonna be there in November, so I won't be
Is that where he
there.
is?
Yeah.
Wow. Where?
I think the Forum.
Really?
I wish he was
Interesting.
playing the Bowl again. He played the Bowl when Ryan and I went. Oh man.
I
It
wonder
was
if I would enjoy
freezing.
going to see Tame November, though. I'm
I
going away
think
soon.
I
We are in
think
November, and I'm going away in 2 weeks. Can't
where are
wait.
you going?
Going back up to Mill Valley, baby.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. You didn't
I'm
tell me
going.
that.
Yeah, I'm going to Mill Valley, and I'm just going to ride around for a few days, eat some food, and I've decided that because the weather looks like shit over the next couple of days. So if I get shitty weather, I'm going to bring my hiking shoes, my Hokas, and I'm just going to walk around in the rain for a few days up in the hills. And, I won't go bike riding in the rain. There's no reason for it.
Where are you staying?
In Almont, which is just below Mill Valley, behind the Mill Valley High School. And
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's great because, it's close to the headlands, it's close to Mount Tam, but again, if it rains, I'm not going to ride in the rain. There's no point. But I don't
Yeah.
want, and then I figure, since I'm going alone, like I figure, I can just sit around if I want to, like I would do here. But then it's a real vacation, though. Like I said, I still
Totally.
get some exercise and go for a walk and that stuff and hikes. I don't mind. I don't know. I don't want to get the bike all trashed with rain, water. It sucks.
I think you would. Well, that's going to be awesome. But
Yeah.
I think you would
Let's see
like
Gianni.
Tame. You should. I think you would like Tame Impala live. But
I'm going to see where
save.
I was going to see what date.
But you should save and go with me. That'd be special. Don't go
But
alone.
no, I would go with your mother.
Oh,
Well,
you guys would have
I don't know
fun.
if she likes them that much, but
No, you guys would have fun though, because even if you don't know, even if you only know like a percentage of the music, I mean,
yeah.
he went full light show this time. I was like, oh my God. It was just crazy. Crazy. By the way, I have to ask you, are you like fully caught up on Survivor?
Tonight's an episode. I have to watch last week's, which I'll watch. Your mother's leaving
Oh,
me tomorrow for a week, so I will be able to watch my shows. My shows.
Joe, she's not
Yeah.
watching Survivor this season?
No, because there's too much going on. She's Animal Kingdom, from 2016. Ellen Barkin. She needs to watch like 4 episodes a night because it's 6 seasons and it's leaving Netflix soon. At least that's what Netflix is
Oh,
saying. And so I don't want to watch 4 episodes a night because they're fucking. I'm watching a show about guys who are really like insane and not likable people. I like the show. I don't need to watch 4 hours a night of it.
right, right. Yeah, the reason I ask is
Yeah.
because Damaris and I just finished last week's,
Yeah.
and oh my God,
I think I'm
like,
gonna watch last week's tonight.
because I was like hoping you had seen it so that we could talk about it because I've
Yeah.
never.
Well, we can't talk about it.
No, no, no.
So
All I
no.
was gonna say is that I just like I couldn't like remember a tribal where like the sort of like you know when like someone gets voted out and nowadays they all like are just like, oh, you're the best, like, oh,
Love you.
love you
Some
so
people
much.
occasionally though, there's that one person's like, eat shit. I hope you fucking die. Right?
No one's ever said
No,
that in the
no, no one's ever
history of
said that. You
Survivor.
can't say that, but like some people are like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Sometimes people walk away pissed.
This
Can't
one,
believe you guys did that to me.
this one was like it was neither angry or nice. It was just the most awkward
Okay. I'm trying
vote
to think
out
about who,
I've
but
ever seen. I was just like, I think my reaction, if there was a camera in the TV, my reaction was like, ah,
I'll watch it tonight. That'll be
like it
fun
was
to
just
watch.
cringe. It was cringe. The whole thing. It was, yeah. Meanwhile, so much has happened since we last spoke. How about the best fucking game in maybe baseball history?
Well, which one? Which one? The last game of the
Game
World
7.
Series?
Game 7.
Crazy, wild. Everyone's saying it's fixed. Ugh, I'm so whatever. And maybe
Not
it is. I
fixed.
don't know. But when the catcher, like the home plate, play. He's up on the base. He's down on the base. I don't know.
No, that was
I
that
don't know.
was
What do I care?
what a fucking game.
You
That
know
was
what? If it was
sick.
fixed, who cares? If it was fixed, it wouldn't surprise me because then they'd be just taking. They'd just be looking at WWE. We can fix these things, and the people will just enjoy it. Who cares?
Definitely not
Create
fixed.
excitement.
Definitely not fixed. But
Yeah,
I just thought that game was
the
one of the
crazy
sickest.
catch, right? The crazy catch in the outfield.
The home
Yeah,
runs. I was like,
yeah,
what is going on here?
yeah. Unbelievable.
You can't
Unbelievable.
you can't write that. And
No,
plus the guy's got to be
it's
able
good
to hit
stuff.
the home run. Hello.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
no. Well, that part, of course. But yeah, no, it was a great series. Good for baseball. I heard that they were up 10 million views over the NBA finals,
They had like
like the
23
last game or
point.
something like that. That's
It was
great.
huge numbers for baseball. And Kershaw goes out a winner.
Yeah.
Epic career. I mean, I remember when I watched him as a kid. And to think
As a
he's just
kid.
he's just hanging it up right now. Like
Right. No,
so weird. It's so weird, and it's gonna
it's like
happen
your
more and
wrestlers
more.
are retiring. It's like, wow, my baseball players
Yeah,
retiring. You see Bryce Harper wants to go to the Yankees?
we'll see. We'll see.
But you did see it, right?
Yeah, but we'll see.
Okay, obviously a lot can happen, but that's kind of cool.
We'll see. We'll see.
For
But
for all the wonderful listeners out here, my 13-year-old Australian Labradoodle, her name is what's her name? I forget her name. What's her name? Harper, because Harper, Bryce Harper. I forget her name. Harper. Bryce Harper, because my son loves Bryce Harper.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I was little, I was so obsessed with him that we were like, we
Yeah.
just gotta name our dog Harper. I met another Harper dog in the park. Um, so that was interesting. But man, I saw something online, right? People were irate because now the world knows what our dog looks like. Great.
Yeah, that's okay.
Um, so
The world.
I was watching like there was a clip of people like basically Shohei Ohtani did like a post-game interview after the World Series where he was like speaking in a little bit of English and
So
everyone's like, "What? What? He speaks English? Why doesn't he speak English all the time?" I'm like, "Are you guys morons?"
we knew he spoke English 2 years ago.
Right, but are they morons like asking why he doesn't speak in English? Because they would lose their Japanese audience. Hello.
That makes
He's
sense.
speaking in Japanese because there's millions of people in Japan who wouldn't be able to understand him if he was speaking English.
So So he and the Dodger organization is more concerned about the Japanese audience than they are about the American English speaking audience.
Incorrect. They're
Okay.
just incorrect. They're not. They're just mindful of the fact that they have millions of fans in other parts of the world that wouldn't
Right.
understand
I
their
get that.
player
I get
otherwise
that. So why can't he speak English and then the interpreter speaks Japanese?
because then he wouldn't need an interpreter. That's why he's doing it the other way around. The superstar is speaking Japanese and the interpreter is speaking English for people like us.
Right. But I was saying
Let me
when
let
he
me
is
ask you this.
speaking Japanese, usually. I'm saying when he does speak Japanese.
Right, but let me ask you this.
Okay.
So um, let's say we lived in a country where English was not the first language, but we spoke English, right? Like you and I.
Mhm.
And Aaron Judge is a player on a team, let's just say in France,
Mhm.
and we live in France. Would you want to hear the American baseball player Aaron Judge speaking English in France, or would you want him speaking French?
If I'm English speaking, I
And
want
he's
I want to hear him speak English.
exactly. So if I'm Japanese
Right.
watching the Dodgers and the
Mhm.
best player on the planet is Japanese, why the fuck do I want to see him speak English? I want him to hear him the way I would hear him if he was in front of me.
Okay.
So the reason I think this is great is because the Dodgers, because they have, American baseball players who can speak English to the American audience, like Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Like, I think it's great that they are like, yeah, speak Japanese and we'll
Okay.
just get someone to translate.
And we've heard him speak English before during his when his other translator was being brought up on
Oh
charges
yeah.
of we heard him
Which
speak
which by the
English.
way, isn't that
I questioned
amazing?
it then.
Isn't that amazing? He wins two World Series and all those allegations are like completely swept under.
Yeah, well, they have to be swept under because it's also him. He's a big part of baseball. He's a big part of why baseball's so exciting right now.
I know.
You know.
I know.
Um.
It's never been better.
Yeah. Yep. So, what else you got, kiddo?
I don't know. You said you
See,
sound like you were gonna say something.
you know,
I'm getting
what
another
did,
tattoo.
oh, you are?
Why'd you
Go
say it
ahead.
like that?
I thought you got one with your sister.
No, so what happened was is I didn't want to sacrifice like the day that she wanted to have. Like we wanted to fit a lot in and um couldn't fit all of it in if we had both gotten a tattoo. And what I should have done is just scheduled the tattoo with like two different artists, but we were like, oh,
Right,
we'll get it from the same artist. But
right. That's cute.
you know, so she got hers, her Christmas present already checked off. Tame Impala, check. Tattoo, check.
Wait. You're. What's that thing when they say you're hiding the story? You're
I
what's the
burying the lead.
you're bearing the lead. Your girlfriend. She ran the
Oh
New York City
yeah. You didn't
Marathon.
even mention that. She's
Sorry,
gonna kill
Damaris.
me.
I mentioned
Yeah,
it.
she did. She crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. Under 4 hours. Absolute beast.
Amazing. She
I
was
caught
telling
up
me
with,
that the hardest hills were the ones where you have to go over the bridges. She's
yeah.
like, you have no idea. She's like, it feels vertical. I'm
So,
like,
yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
She said that at one point it felt like she was just running like this.
Oh man, that would suck.
Oof. And like not stopping. You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
didn't like stop.
You know, she did so well, and all those pictures of her smiling are so fantastic. And then, like on Instagram, like you see, like there's this really sad music playing, but but they're giving it their all, and there's like a few people walking at night. It's like,
Right?
holy
It's,
shit
it
balls.
was wild. It was such a great day though. Like the whole weekend was just great and
Good.
felt good. And so yeah, big props to her. She's unbelievable for that. And me, well, I'm just getting a tattoo. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, so I'm going back on Saturday because I didn't get to get mine because I was
Good.
gonna get mine, but I couldn't.
Mm.
So I'm going to get mine. I'm very excited. It's
Yeah.
just at this point, I just have all these ideas. It's like, oh, funny. This is funny. So I walk in, or we're there for a while, and the guy, the artist who did my Pink Floyd one,
Mhm.
I haven't seen him. I've been back like multiple times, probably like three times since, but like haven't seen him. And he walked in, and he looks at me. He's like, "Oh shit, what's up, bro? How?" He's like, "Damn, let me see the what."
Is that like not using the same hair cutter? Like, how does that work?
Um, y- yes and no. Tattoo artists are very much like style oriented, and you also want to go to an artist who's excited about the design you're bringing them. So like not all tattoo artists specialize in the same thing. Some specialize in like realism, some specialize in
Okay.
fine line.
All right.
Um, so
Makes
you know,
sense.
I showed him the tattoo like all healed up after like a couple months because I got it in June. And he was like, "Oh, that healed up really well, man." He's like, "We got to lock back in. We got to lock back in and he's like, and then he just starts like he like picks up my arm and he's like looking at it and he's like, "Bro, let me get some real estate on the forearm. I think we could do something really cool there." And I was like,
Get
"Oh
some
yeah?"
real estate on the forearm.
I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you want some real estate?"
excuse me though. We were talking a lot about tattoos the last couple of weeks, and he says it really healed up well. Like, is that where you go into a tattoo? Like, you go to have heart surgery. You hope it heals up well. Like, why would you say you're going in to get a tattoo? Oh man, it healed up well. Like, do you expect there to be a problem? Does he expect there to be a problem? You're
No,
painting your
but
body. It's supposed.
no, see, and that's what a lot of people don't really like think about is post tattoo, right? So like and we've talked a little bit about it, but I guess I'll explain a little bit more. Like it's not just
Explain to
like,
the audience. I recall the conversation.
but it's not like you just get the tattoo and it's like, all right,
Mhm.
now there it is, good to go. You have to
They
treat a
take care of it.
tattoo.
Yeah.
You have to treat, I was just telling this to Ryan because she was starting to fuck up her post tattoo care. And I told her, you're in for a rude fucking awakening if you don't clean it up because she just didn't follow like some of the procedures. And I'm like, Ryan, like if you come to me telling me that it A is infected, B is fading, I'm gonna be
Right.
like, okay, great. Like that's what,
Right.
you know. So so you get the tattoo, they put a wrap on it, and then it's really in your hands. Their job is done.
Right.
The tattoo artist's job is done. So him looking at it being like, oh, it healed up really well is his way of saying like, oh, you really took care of it. You really kept an eye on it. You didn't let, the tattoo get too much sun. You didn't let it get too much heat. You didn't let it,
So you can't hit it and forget it, right? You got to
no,
take care of it.
you got to take care of it. You can't itch it. And that
Can't
might be,
scratch it. Can't
that's gonna,
scratch it.
that's going to be your number one problem when you get a tattoo is you're going to be fine with everything else. The second that thing starts to itch, you're just going to be like,
You know what? That whole scratching of parts of bodies. I noticed on the motorcycle when I have a full face helmet on. Sometimes I'm like, I need to scratch, and I'm doing 50, 60 miles an hour on the freeway, and like I will literally lift up my helmet, because I'm just like, oh my god,
you're
and then I bring it
terrible.
back down. You don't have a choice. Sometimes there are things like if you ever scratch like in your scalp, you just got to let it be. And that sucks. You can't unless you
That
pull
does
over, I
suck.
guess.
That does suck. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll see, but I'm proud, man, proud of Damaris. What an accomplishment, you know? What an
Yeah, fuck that,
accomplishment.
man. I would never try to run a marathon. I hear it's very hard.
It's not easy, and I wouldn't know, but I'm gonna know one day because she, it's cliche when boyfriends and girlfriends tell each other like, "Oh, you inspire me," but
Right.
like she did, like she really did, because I was up in Harlem. I
Mhm.
followed her like in a few spots throughout the race. And like I'm seeing her in Harlem, I'm seeing the energy, and which she
Yeah.
told me, she was like, Max, if you thought the energy in Harlem was sick,
Right.
you should have seen what was going on in Brooklyn. Like, and
Isn't
and
that
and
nice
I,
how the city comes together for that? So
the
fantastic.
whole city. And do you know that like local businesses were just like, oh, if you can show us your medal, you get free this,
Right.
you get
Oh,
free
I
that.
sent Damaris a whole list of stores that were giving away stuff if you showed your medal. She was
We
like, "Oh my god, I'm going to take it coffee shops, croissant shops, whatever."
we walked
It's
into a
amazing how
bakery, they gave her a baguette.
the 364 other days of the year, everybody hates each other. But that one day, years, that one days, that one day, everyone comes together. It's kind of cool. It's really badass,
It
actually.
was it was fun. And it's funny too. Someone raised a really interesting point that's like they were like, "Well, you're from LA. Do they do it like this for the LA marathon?" And I thought to myself, A, I wouldn't know, but B, probably not. Like no one talks
It's a
about the
little,
marathon.
no, a lot of people, well, you're not in the community. No, the marathon's a big deal, definitely. I mean, being that it's in the LA basin, I try to avoid it at all costs, especially on that Sunday, because let's get caught up in that.
Yeah.
But as a non-runner, but yeah, I mean, it goes from downtown LA, I think, to Santa Monica Boulevard, to Santa Monica. Maybe the route's changed. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, people, in the community, they like that. Yeah, we're also a lot more spread out. Seems like in New York City, if you want to ride a marathon, what do you go? 2 blocks in any direction, you'll hit it at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
In
funny
LA, you
enough,
might have to travel an hour and a half just to get to a lookout spot.
right down the street, if you make a left out of our building,
Uh-huh.
marathon route, we're right
Yeah,
there.
that's great.
Like
It's awesome.
crazy.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
fun.
yeah.
It was great. And this week should be great. I mean, this weekend I got some good plans. Life is just, it's kind of on a little bit
Who's
of
concerned?
autopilot, which I don't
Yeah.
like, but like I do. So it's like it's all
Yeah,
good.
it can happen.
And,
Autopilot can happen for sure.
and I'll see you December 13th.
Yeah,
Is it
very
okay
soon.
that I am coming for like 3 weeks?
Yeah, I don't care. I just hope you can get out. I really do. It's like everything that, the news is talking about, that Trump's going to start shutting down the airspace because of lack of air traffic controllers. And somebody was saying in like 2 weeks, all airspace is just going to shut down, which I don't know. I don't necessarily believe that, but let's just see what happens. But the Department of Secretary of Transportation, he was talking about how they're going to start shutting down some airspace
Well, we'll see.
because of the government shutdown. Wow, amazing to me. But you know what? Trump will still be able to go to Mar-a-Lago and play golf every weekend. So as long as he has that, good. Very happy
Right.
for
Tell the
him.
people what they got to do.
Subscribe, like, tell your friends. And I'm gonna go eat dinner right now.
What are you going to make? In two
We,
words.
we brought in food.
We.
That's
Whoa.
pretty cool. Will that come up?
Definitely.
Yeah, we brought him Spumoni.
Fun. Well, I love you, Dad,
I love you
and
too,
I will
Max.
see you soon.